Today I share with you 5 main directions that will help you to improve your graphics a lot. Let's say good graphics is art that is pleasant and satisfying to look at, and it doesn't have to be photorealistic. Let's start with lighting. Lighting is the main key to impact graphics. You should spend a decent amount of time building it. Some game engines are better at lighting than others, but keep in mind you can do anything with every game engine with additional coding. Here's some guidelines to enhance your lighting to the next level. First, dynamic lighting helps a lot to bring great contrast to your scene. It's called global illumination and it has excellent indirect lighting. It comes with a performance cost that may be worth or not to invest depending on your project. Shadows are decisive to give depth to your environment and avoid flat looking. Ambient occlusion is a great solution to improve them in addition to the global illumination. Note that Breath of the Wild has both of these techniques. Tasty features like volumetric lighting and light shafts are beautiful effects and can be a big plus for your visual, 2D included. Environment reflection is important as it magnifies the overall aesthetic and make it believable. Finally, subsurface scattering for vegetation is the cherry on the cake, making your environment well integrated with lighting. Now colors. It's harder than people might think to get right-looking colors. It exists a color theory explaining how combining them. I suggest watching this video from Blender Guru explaining color harmony. Once you're more comfortable with theory, you can work on a palette. There are websites helping you with algorithms calculating the harmony. This gives you a strong base to work with, even if you can take some freedom later. My first tip will be to avoid using too many colors. The more colors, the more complex it is to make them look right together. 3 main tones or under is a smart choice. Second, control your appetite with saturations. Strong colors don't mean better look, and it actually tires the eye. Zelda Breath of the Wild is a colorful world with soft tones, making the environment comfortable for the player. And remember, color is light, light is color. Don't hesitate to go back tweaking the light when you're adjusting colors. Post-processing. Post-processing is the final touch that makes your lighting and colors shine. It gives useful control so you don't need to rework texture and shader all the time. There are tons of effects, but here the ones that impact graphics strongly. Ambient occlusion. The result speaks by itself. Use the post-processing workflow instead of the texture one if you don't have time or workforce. Fog. A must-have for large environments. It improves depth and hides LOD imperfection at far distance. Bloom. It magnifies the bright tones and gives a charming touch. Still be careful as it's easy to overdo it. Screen space reflection, mentioned in the lighting part, this is the post-processing approach, faking reflection for a cheap price. The 2 next effects are questionable as people love and hate them. Depth of field, it blurs the background to attract attention on front elements. Breath of the Wild has it for combat. Auto exposure, it adjusts the luminosity depending on the environment light. Next point, level of details. Your asset should have a consistent level of details, both in geometry and render. Mixing high and low details assets together break the balance and make your scene harder to understand. For specific artistic purpose, you can break this rule if you know what you're doing. For example, in Sea of Thieves, the amount of details is constant for character and environment, but not for the sea, which has much more details. In Breath of the Wild, living forms are cel-shaded and have very few details compared to the world. And now my favorite point, animation. Bad-looking assets, well animated, often look better than beautiful assets, badly animated. Animation is that important. You should use all animation elements you can afford to bring life to your scene. Dust particles, leaves particles, wind trails, vegetation animation, clothes animation, hair animation, and why not, screen animation. Anything that can be animated should be animated. Gently. And that's it. If you invest time on these 5 main directions, I'm sure you will greatly increase your graphics. I hope you found this video instructive and enjoyable, and I see you in the next one once you pat this little buddy over here. Bye bye.